I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross.
Hello, I am James Brown, and on behalf of the Eastern Church of Christ located in Toronto, Canada, I'd like to welcome you to Wednesday's edition of Walking Through the Bible, a podcast where we seek to study the Bible and the Bible alone. Please stick around afterwards for information on how you can contact us. But for now, if you have a Bible with you, please turn to the book of Genesis, and we'll turn you over to Jeremy Dieselkamp for our study of the day.
Thank you, James, and welcome to all of our viewers. This is the 62nd lesson in our study of Genesis. Yesterday we covered Genesis chapter 19, verses 1 to 14, discussing the two angels' visit to the city of Sodom. If you missed that episode and would like to watch it, you can find it and all of our other podcasts on our website at www.eastendchurch.org. You can also find them on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/EastEndChurchOfChrist under the Walking Through the Bible Genesis playlist. Today we're going to begin with Genesis chapter 19, verse 15, and read through verse 29. The text that you'll see on the screen is from the English Standard Version, but you're welcome to follow along with any version that you have. So let's now read Genesis 19, beginning at verse 15. As morning dawned, the angels urged Lot, saying, "Up, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, lest you be swept away in the punishment of the city." But he lingered. So the men seized him and his wife and his 2 daughters by the hand, the Lord being merciful to him, and they brought him out and set him outside the city. And as they brought them out, one said, "Escape for your life. Do not look back or stop anywhere in the valley. Escape to the hills, lest you be swept away." And Lot said to them, "Oh no, my lord. Behold, your servant has found favor in your sight, and you have shown me great kindness in saving my life. But I cannot escape to the hills, lest the disaster overtake me and I die. Behold, this city is near enough to flee to, and it is a little one. Let me escape there. Is it not a little one? And my life shall be saved." He said to them, "Behold, I grant you this favor also, that I will not overthrow the city of which you have spoken. Escape there quickly, for I can do nothing till you arrive there." Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun had risen on the earth when Lot came to Zoar. Then the Lord rained on Sodom and Gomorrah sulfur and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the valley and all the inhabitants of the cities and what grew on the ground. But Lot's wife behind him looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham went early in the morning to the place where he had stood before the Lord. And he looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the valley. And he looked, and behold, the smoke of the land went up like the smoke of a furnace. So it was that, when God destroyed the cities of the valley, God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrown when he overthrew the cities in which Lot had lived. At the end of yesterday's episode, we have the angels warning Lot to get his family together and flee the city, for God was about to destroy it. Verse 14 said that Lot went to speak to his sons-in-law, the men who were shortly to marry his virgin daughters, in order to convince them to leave. But they thought he was joking. Clearly these 2 men weren't godly men, or they would have believed Lot. So as morning dawned, with Lot still having not left, the angels urged Lot to hurry up, take his wife and daughters, and flee the city. The reason for Lot's delay isn't told to us. Perhaps he was trying to convince more people to flee with him, or perhaps he was trying to take as much of his possessions with him as he could. But whatever the case, time was running out, and Lot and his family needed to leave. Therefore the angels took them by the hands and led them out of the city. They were told to flee the valley up to the hills. They were not to stop or look back lest they die. Lot, claiming that he would die if he was forced to travel to the hills, asked if it was okay if he fled to a nearby small city known as Zoar instead. The angel agreed, but told him that he must hurry to get there, for judgment was at hand. So Lot and his family fled to Zoar. As the sun had completely risen, Lot and his family arrived there, at which time the Lord rained down fire and brimstone, or sulfur, and destroyed the city of Sodom, the neighboring city of Gomorrah, as well as all the nearby cities of the valley, for they were all utterly wicked. The tragic part of this story, though, is even though she escaped the city, when the fire came down from heaven, Lot's wife looked back and became a pillar of salt for disobeying the command of the Lord. It teaches us that when the Lord tells us to do something, he expects us to obey. The consequence for looking back was death, as was explained earlier by the angels. How sad it must have been, though, for Abraham to wake up and look towards Sodom only to realize that there weren't even 10 righteous souls in that city. He bargained for that city, yet because of their wickedness, it was still destroyed. For Lot, though, that sadness was even greater, for when he arrived at Sodom at the end of chapter 13, he was very wealthy. But because he chose to live in a sinful city, when he left, all that remained was himself and his 2 daughters. Evil companions corrupt good morals, says 1 Corinthians 15:33, a lesson Lot learned the hard way. With that, our time is up for today. Please join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we will continue our study of Genesis, beginning with Genesis 19, verse 30.
Thank you, Jeremy. And to our viewers, we also thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Should you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below or email us at answerintheword@gmail.com. We'll try to respond to you as quickly as we can. We hope you'll join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we'll be continuing our study of the book of Genesis. Goodbye for now and have a great day.
I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor